Behind me is the 2022 Ford Bronco Badlands. This is perhaps the most capable off-road vehicle that's been created in the last 30 years, and I am extremely excited to bring it to you today. Stay tuned. Kicking off with the styling, I do absolutely love the look of the Bronco. Put in the comments below whether you prefer this or the Jeep. And I think that in this Badlands trim, you're getting kind of all the best. It doesn't look too basic. You're sitting up way high, you know, it's got a very good stance and it comes with a lot of premium features. So this is definitely the trim I would go with. I do love that you have the front tow hooks there. And then that is a steel bumper, so that thing is going to let you do some damage for sure. LED headlights. This does not have the optional LED fog lights, but I think you could probably get them in there relatively easily. And coming around to the side here, on that fender, I think that it's designed really well. It's not overly styled like you see on some new modern vehicles down. You do have some nice cladding here, and going in, that is just quite the setup. That is a disconnecting sway bar and just really cool beefy setup paired with some Bilstein shocks. These are like exact position shocks. I don't know really what that means, but I know Bilstein is some of the best in the business, so you're going to be in good hands. Keeping with that theme, around the side, again, super simple but tasteful. I think that this Area 51 color is really good. Down here you do have rock rails and, you know, full protection underneath. Let's get under there and I'll try to give you as good of a shot as I can. So you can see you got like skid plates basically under this entire vehicle. And that's the great thing about the Badlands trim. You do not need to do anything. Now, it could have a little bit better ground clearance. They're telling me that it's only 8.5 inches, but that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm thinking that this looks more like, you know, 9.5, 10, but I could be wrong. Down here, we do have the beadlock wheels. I think that those are really, really cool. You know, you can see they just look rugged. These are 17-inch. Love that Bronco logo in there. And they are paired with the good BF Goodrich KO2s. These around back here, really tasteful design. I think that it just looks super off-road, really capable. I think it's quite neat. I like these taillights. You know, it's got, I don't know if that's like some type of weird logo thing going on in there, but whatever it is, it's really cool. Bronco, always nice. And then obviously your full-size spare. This does open sideways, giving you quite a bit of room in there. I do wish that this opened a little bit wider, but not a huge deal. You can still get it in and out. So you can see we got plenty of space. You know, you do have to pull that top up, which is a little bit of work, but you got plenty of room in here. And the cool thing is there is no carpet, so you can spray this out. You can see it's hard on back of the seats there. Really enjoy that. My tester does have the towing package, which gives you the ability to tow 3,500 pounds, and it does have rear recovery hooks. When I get down below, you can see that it does have those beefy Bilstein. Those are, I can't remember what they call them, but it's like a specific one. I'll put that in the description. Really neat setup. So getting in and out of the Bronco is really cool. I don't think that you're gonna need side steps I mean, I guess if you're like super duper short, you might, but what they give you is these oh crap handles, and you can just kind of climb right in, and you have another grab handle like this. So if you are able-bodied, getting in and out of here should be relatively easy. Once you are in here, you got a ton of space. This will fit somebody who's, you know, 4'11" or 6'5", and you'll be fine. And the cool thing is, you know, you got all of this stuff to kind of protect you when you're rocking and doing all that good stuff, right? I think that as a passenger, you're going to be pretty comfortable in here. Obviously, you do have to have manual everything because, you know, we can go topless. Right. In the rear seat, you have plenty of leg room here. It looks like you could easily fit 2 adults back here and probably about 3 kids, maybe 3.5. You do have power outlets here. You got USB-A, and then also a 12-volt outlet. You do have USB-C, and here are your window buttons for the up and down. They're actually in the center stack here, which I think is pretty cool. And again, you got the grab handles here and there. So overall, you know, a very comfortable rear seat. I think that you'll be pleasantly surprised. So this does have a 60-40 split, and you can see you do have a lot of cargo room in the back. So honestly, this can be like a very usable SUV for a family. I will warn you, your kids might not be happy with how loud it gets back there, but they'll get used to it. And you can see on those doors, they do look really nice. I just love the styling and all of the small little touches that they do on the interior here. And we do have fully disconnecting doors. So these are super simple. All you do is disconnect this power outlet, and then there are 2 bolts. So one on the bottom, one on the top, and they come right off. They give you this neat little toolkit that you get right in your glove box, and these come off very easily. You get 4 bags to store the doors too, so you don't have to worry about scratching them up or any of that good stuff. And again, I prefer this soft top, so you're going to have these doors off and that top back in no time. All right, on the interior, we have a great little steering wheel set up. All the normal functions, right? Automatic cruise control. This does not have like the lane keep assist or any of that stuff. But I do like this steering wheel. The leather is very high quality. It, you know, is a good size for your hands and everything like that. So coming in here, this is your base screen. So we can kind of shift around. It goes over, gives you the fuel economy, which honestly, the fuel economy in here was surprisingly much better than I would have thought, but you can go through. You got some gauges here. The configurability of this display is pretty wild. And I think that the graphics and the LCD are very good. A really high quality shifter that's kind of a mix between leather and steel here. This is like a steel piece. I really like it. Cool little Bronco logo there. Check that out. This thing is so full of like Easter eggs that you're gonna figure those out like years to come. So you do have a function where you can manually switch your gears up and down. So you go back into M mode, and then here you go. So now we got the GOAT modes, which this tester is slightly used, and we got lucky, folks. So let me tell you, we are going through all the modes right here. So let's get to it. All right. We got normal, eco, sport, slippery, mud and ruts, sand, Baja, and rock crawl. Nice. Literally all the modes. So check that out. When you are shifting the screen, it does give you that rear camera. This does have the 360-degree camera, and you can see that. Check that out, man. That is a really good display, and you will love that when you're crawling off-road, that's for sure. I like these vents. Sorry, the lighting in here is a little bad. We're having a bunch of clouds here today. But I like the vents, the little orange accents and everything like that. Very high quality materials. Up here, you have all of your functions. So it is a a manual front and rear lockers, sway bar disconnect, turning assist, and then your traction control. Super cool setup, really easy to use. And then up here you have even more auxiliary gauges, and this one does have the sound deadening material that you get on the roof, so just to make it a tad bit quieter. And I think it helps, although this is definitely, you know, no Lexus by any means. But coming over here to the door handles, super good quality. That's what I really like about the Ford. I think that this might wear out over time, and you may end up having a hard time replacing that. But overall, you know, you got your soft materials on your elbow. Feels pretty good. Nice, rugged, hard, you know, materials on the doors. You want to be able to spray this bad boy down, and you definitely can. All right, setting off in the Ford Bronco Badlands. So overall interior impressions here, when you're just kind of cruising down the road, you know, this is relatively fine. It rides well. The Bilstein shocks are super duper absorbent. You know, it gives you kind of a pretty refined ride. You can tell that there's a lot of absorption going on, which is great, right? Because you're going to hit all sorts of bumps and whatnot. It's not going to be jarring. And as somebody with, you know, spinal cord injuries like myself, I can really appreciate that. So ergonomics and everything are very good. I think that the seating position for me, again, I'm only about 5'8", so I can fit virtually in almost anything. But if you're a larger driver, you'll be fine. And honestly, if you're a smaller driver like Mrs. Rev Nation, she would absolutely love this because you just kind of feel very upright. You feel like you're in a tank and you have a lovely command of the road here. This does drive a tad bit, wide because it is virtually a very wide vehicle. But once you get used to that, and you will, really quickly, it's not bad. Some people I've heard complain about like, oh, the hood's too long and stuff like that, so their maneuverability is hindered. I don't really find that to be my experience here. I think that it's very proportionate. Although, it is a large vehicle. So if you're coming out of something like a Honda Civic, it's just going to be a tad bit of an adjustment, but overall, pretty good. These seats are really great. Thick padding, I do wish that it had some more lumbar adjustability, but overall, it's not bad. You have soft touch materials for your elbow here and a really, really soft top tier center console. So I definitely like that. As far as arm, reach goes, this is relatively easy. This touchscreen is super intuitive, so you can reach it just fine. I do think that they've included quite a bit of options in the Ford Sync system, so I like it. I kind of prefer that, but I know most people will just do Apple CarPlay, and this does have, wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have all of the normal functions on your steering wheel. I think that overall, the road noise and the wind noise is definitely elevated, but this is an off-road vehicle, right? This goes fully top down, all the doors off and everything like that. So if you're really concerned about cabin refinement, this is probably not the vehicle for you. But again, you're probably not going to be shopping for something like this. So not a huge deal in my opinion, and probably not a huge deal to the target audience here. I think that to sum things up, you get a lot for your money here. You can configure the Ford Bronco in so many different ways, it's staggering. There's like 8 different trims. So that's going to be probably your biggest challenge, is deciding what do I want, because Ford just gives you so many options, which I think is great. More manufacturers need to go with that sort of customization. You can see I'm wearing a BMW shirt, and BMW is known for that. Almost no 2 cars are the same. And I think that with Ford being one of the only manufacturers that gives you this much choice, I think that's something to really take advantage of, and you're going to appreciate. So you can have any type of Bronco that you want. This would be the trim that I'm going for. I think it stickers, around mid 50,000s, and depending on whatever other extra options you have, you're probably going to be bouncing between $50,000 and $60,000 vehicle here, and your resale value is going to be shockingly good. This is going to be up there with the Toyota Tacoma as far as resale goes. So, again, a really good place to kind of park your money. Which, in summary, this is a really, really, really great vehicle. I wish that I had the ability to take it off-road, but unfortunately, we live at the beach, right? But you can get yourself a nice Outer Banks trim and then head on down to the Outer Banks. It's not too far away, and you'll have the time of your life. But again, I want to thank Beach Ford for giving me the time with this vehicle, and I will link their inventory in the description. Big shout out to my salesperson Marna. She and I have been working together for years now, and I can attest that she is going to be straight up with you. She's going to take fantastic care of you, and I'll put her direct contact in the description as well. So thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you.